Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Rorowa deck profile for April 2024. We got a new promo with the new monthly promos, so I figured an update was due to the deck. Also for the new format changes where you have to run 4 cards in the ride deck and 50 cards in the main deck. Wanted to update the deck to begin with. So with those added adjustments with the promos and just some other changes I've made since the last update for the newer support we received back in set 11, I figured an update was due for the deck overall. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for those of you that don't know, the Rorowa deck is focused on using its glitter units and its own ability to be able to summon out plant tokens onto the field. The plant tokens and the Momoke tokens are the two most important parts of the deck, being able to summon out these token rear guards. So for our ride deck, our starter is Bioroid Youth Rorowa. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Awakening from Slumber Rorowa. When placed by riding on a Bioroid Youth Rorowa, you call up to 1 plant token to your back row rear guard. So just setting up the plant tokens with the ride deck is a good start to the overall setup of the deck. Our grade 2 is the World 3,000 Years Later Rorowa. When placed on Vanguard, retire 1 of your rear guards, call up to 2 plant tokens. So just being able to retire 1 of our rear guards, which in this case would be the back row rear guard plant token. We can then call 2 more out onto the field to use for additional attacks against our opponent, with our grade 3 being for One's Precious Things Rorowa. This is the only copy we run in the deck since our main grade 3 focus in the deck is a Viridescent Flash Rorowa. So for the Vanguard, its skill is once per turn. You can Soul Blast 1 to call up to 3 plant tokens to rear. And on the Vanguard, when this unit is attacked, you can retire 1 or more of your token units, and this unit gets +5 until end of battle for each unit retired. So just having the tokens as a more defensive setup and using them for either that or the power-up of Momoke as well, because Momoke has a skill on rearguard. Once per turn, you can retire 1 or more of your other rearguards, and this unit gets +5,000 until end of turn for each unit retired. So mostly you're going to use the tokens for the cost for Momoke. And it also, on rearguard, if you have a unit with Radilina in its card name, in the same column as this unit can attack from the back row. So more of an added power boost, with this being an additional attack against your opponents. For the actual main deck now, we run 4 copies of a Viridescent Flash Rorowa. With this card, when placed by riding from One's Precious Things Rorowa, call up to 2 plant tokens to rear, and they get, when this unit is retired from the rear guard, draw a card until the end of your opponent's turn, activate Persona Ride as well. So this gives you the Persona Ride setup as an additional +10k power to your front row, the draw power, and then 2 token rear guards, which if you were to retire them with Momoke, you'll get an additional draw off of their own skills also. Or if you want to save them for One Thing's Precious Rorowa, you can use them for the retire off of that, but a little more risky if your opponent uses them for a retire, but still you'll get the draw if your opponent ends up retiring them instead of you. And also, when this unit attacks, you bind a For One's Precious Thing Rorowa from your soul, choose 1 of your glitter rear guards until end of turn. That unit and this unit get +5,000, and this unit gets critical +1. At the end of that turn, ride this card bound for the cost as rest. So then you'll re-ride the Rorowa on your Vanguard circle, but also giving you added pressure for your Vanguard Rorowa being able to attack with an additional critical. For the other grade 3s, 4 copies of our first glitter unit, which is Undoubting Flame Sword Radilina. At the beginning of your main phase, if you do not have a Momoke token on your rear guard, call up to 1 Momoke token to rear guard. So it sets up the Momoke token, but also it glitters with Rorowa. And also for its skill from the hand, at the end of the battle that your unit with Radilina and its card name attacked, if your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, retire a rear guard with Radilina and Momoke token, call this card to rear guard, and that unit's power increased by the power of the Momoke token retired for this card's ability. So this card, and having this card gain the power of the Momoke token, gives you quite a powerhouse to at least be able to attack into your opponent with. For the grade 2s, we run 4 copies of the other glitter unit, which is Dragritter Girl of Flame Blossoms Radilina. If you do not have a Momoke token on rearguard, you can counterblast 1 to call up to 1 Momoke token to rear. So it helps to set up the Momoke token that you'll need to retire to use for your grade 3 Radilina. And also, when this unit attacks, Soul Blast 1, choose 1 of your token units in the same column as this unit. And this unit gets the power of that unit until end of battle, gaining the power of what Momoke should have on the field after retiring all of your other token rearguards. For our other grade 2s, also 3 copies of Love Binding Maiden, Margaret. When this card is discarded from hand during your ride phase, you can Soul Blast 1, put this unit on the bottom of the deck to draw a card. So draw power when discarding for the cost of ride. And when this unit is placed on rear guard, if you Persona Road this turn, counter +1, your opponent cannot intercept until end of turn, and all of your opponent's front row rear guards cannot stand during the next stand phase. So a pretty powerful Stoicheia rear guard just to set up. Being able to lock down your opponent's front row rear guards is pretty much useless since they can't even intercept to begin with. And the last of our grade 2s being the 3 copies of Kind Intentions Hunter Matthias. When placed on rear from hand, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Rorowa and its card name, Soul Blast 1, retire 2 other rear guards, choose a grade 2 or less card from your drop, and call it to rear guard. So this is meant to help by retiring our tokens to set up Radilina back on the field and then use to call out the Momoke token again. And from the front row rear guard at the beginning of your battle phase, if you have a unit with Rorowa and its card name and a unit with Radilina, you may call plant token, giving you more of the defensive options, setting up more plant tokens on the field for the ones that may have been retired off of Momoke. And if we use cards like our Order, Resolute Pair of Eyes, you can power up those tokens to be 10k boosters on the field also. For the grade 1s, our new grade 1 is the monthly promo Everspring Hunter, Emirates. Running 4 copies of this card from the hand. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 with Rorowa and its card name, put this unit in the soul, search your deck for up to 1 Viridescent Flash Rorowa, ride it as stand, and shuffle your deck. If your Vanguard was placed during the ride phase this turn, or if you Persona Road this turn, you cannot activate Persona Ride until end of turn. So this is meant just to activate Persona Ride and go into Viridescent Flash even more quickly, giving you the first turn grade 3 ride for that setup. Or if your Vanguard was placed during the ride phase this turn, you don't activate the Persona Ride, but still you'll get the added plus of having Viridescent Flash all the quicker to use, so you can count this as basically just another copy of that card. And on the guard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Rorowa, it gets shield plus 5,000, acting as another 10k guard against your opponents. And also, for the other grade 1s, 4 copies of Burrow Mushrooms. You put this card into the soul to call out 2 plant tokens to the field. So it's pretty simple. It also has an additional ability if you have Gronfi as a Vanguard, but you don't. So it's just a put into soul to get 2 plant tokens. It builds up your soul for cards like Radilina, and then just gives you more options for tokens to retire with Momoke if you don't want to use your Vanguard's ability, or if you can't use your Vanguard's ability because you don't have the Soul Blast to do so. And then for our Sentinel lineup, 1 copy of Elementaria Sanctitude, and then also the 3 copies of Custodial Dragon, just for our Sentinel lineup to go up against our opponent with. For the orders, we're running 4 copies of a Resolute Pair of Eyes. With this card, you activate it by retiring a rear guard, and if you have a Vanguard with Rorowa's card name with the counter blast of 1, you search your deck for up to 1 Radilina's name and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, and during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Rorowa's card name, all your back row tokens get plus 5,000, giving your Momoke an additional boost and making all of your normal plant tokens 10Ks as well. This gives you a search if you have the grade 2 Radilina, just a search option to then add the grade 3 to your hand. For the trigger lineup, running the 7 criticals, so 4 copies of Aspiring Maiden Alana and 3 Melodia Pomera, just for added pressure with our Viridescent Rorowa being able to gain an additional critical also. 4 copies of Serene Maiden Lena for the additional 5k guard. And for our heals, 2 copies of Soul Repose Pixie Petronella, the 1 copy of Narcissus Noble Niljit, and the 1 Fairy Asher for the rest of the heal lineup, with our overtrigger being the 1 copy of Source Dragon Deity Bless Favor for the heal option and the added plus that you can give to your front row as well. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, I always love updating these decks when they get the newer support so that people know what to run, and I hope you all enjoyed the update to the deck as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.